Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie. If you're new here, I do all kinds of vlogs, motherhood videos, things like that, but I also share a little bit about our personal finance journey with you. Today I'm going to do a January reset, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about like my plans for the month, any goals that I have specifically for the month, and then I'll show you our budget as well. I'm going to tell you a couple of updates that are coming up just because it is a new year. I will say this isn't going to be like super in-depth because Ben and I have not had time alone to like go through our yearly goals and things like that, so I'm going to try to do that video maybe next weekend or something like that so you guys can see a little bit more in depth of our like yearly goals. I'm also going into my last month of pregnancy. I'm due very early at the beginning of February. I'm not pressuring myself to like have things ready to go, different, any of that stuff for January. I just want to kind of ease into the month. 2025 is going to be some big changes to our budget. January, I believe we still will have a normal-ish income. Mine will be a little bit less than normal, but normal-ish. And then moving forward, I don't think I'm going to have an income. There were layoffs at the company that I do blogs for, and the person that I work for was one of the people laid off, which is terrible for her. So I wasn't planning on writing blogs in January and February anyway, for two reasons. I'm not super confident they're gonna even want freelance writers, and two, I'm not super confident I want to work for them if I'm not getting to work with my friend. Basically, I'm going into the year assuming that I am a full-time mom, which we already know. That's about it. Content creator who doesn't make any money. So that is the plan. So as of this point, I don't really have any income lined up. We are losing the income that we've been receiving for the last 2 years from the company that Ben was bought out of, that he co-founded. So I believe January is our last payment, and then we won't have any income from that, which was about $800 and some a month. I'll show you in a minute. So we're losing my income in that, which is like $2,500, something like that. Between the two, it kind of ebbs and flows, maybe a little bit less than that. That's a lot of income to lose, especially when we live in a high income place. We will not be able to zero out our budget. We will have to use savings until we figure out something else. There are a couple things positive on the horizon. You never know what might happen with my content creation. Maybe I'll start making money from it. I would love to, but I can't depend on that. So that's a question mark. We will get a tax return at the beginning of the year. So just hoping that that's something that's like a substantial amount that we can use and put into savings to kind of offset some of the money that we're taking out of savings. Very grateful that we have a savings account right now that can help us through however long it takes us to figure something else out. There's also a possibility of us helping a family business with their social media come like April time. So if that works out, we would be able to make up some of the income that we're losing. So that's a hopeful thing coming up. There is also talks of Ben possibly getting a promotion or a raise next year, which would happen Q1, Q2. If I pop back to the like negative side, our insurance is going up $400 a month in premiums, so Ben's income is also going to go down, but I don't know exactly how much it's gonna like equal out to with like taxes and all that kind of stuff. Obviously we're having a baby at the beginning of February, so there will be a hospital bill that comes from that at some point. You guys know that with this new insurance that's coming through, a lot of our doctors aren't covered by insurance. Our OB and our hospital is, so that's good. We will be having a baby at the beginning of the year, so we won't have hit our deductibles. We're anticipating not a small bill coming through for that. So it is what it is. This is kind of where we're having these conversations about how long we can stay in Illinois, just because what we prefer for our family is for me not to work, especially not to work an in-person full-time job. We also don't have, as you can tell, the money for childcare. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law help as much as they can, but it's not necessarily consistent. It's not enough time for me to get like a real job, and with how much I can make in a real job, honestly I think it would it would just even out to what childcare would be, and it's just not worth it to us. With that, then we have to figure out what to do. So like obviously we have been a little bit spendier the last few years because we were able to, especially when we lived in Raleigh. So we have to take that down quite a few notches. We have a little bit of savings, so that's good, as long as, knock on wood, nothing crazy big comes out of that. And like I said, there's like a couple options of like possibly doing some social media work. Sorry about the lighting, guys. It's winter in the Midwest. I don't know what to tell you. There's the real I know I've been talking about like loving Raleigh and wanting to move back there because I miss it. However, it's becoming more and more of the only option that we feel like we have. If we were to stay anywhere in the Midwest, we're only going to live in Illinois or Wisconsin. Wisconsin, where we would live, is not any less expensive, at least not much, than where we are now. Even if we stayed in Illinois, we would need to move out further where it's like a little bit cheaper than where we currently live, which means again we wouldn't have any childcare, because if I move to Wisconsin or if I live here but further out, I don't have free childcare anymore to do the little bit of work that I have. But now also on top of that, I don't currently have any clients. So I'm stressed about it. There's like a lot of stuff going on, but I'm also hopeful that things will just work themselves out. And I'm not like just gonna sit back and be like, hope they work themselves out. I am hopeful that they will, and we're just gonna keep pushing forward and figuring it out. As far as moving goes, even though I like personally want to move, we might have to, even if we're not ready to, because we cannot afford to stay here very much longer. That is kind of the like overarching update. Hopefully you guys are still hanging around, and now I can show you the actual reset. So I'll take you through my Notion board first, and then we'll go through what I'm planning for January. Honestly, it'll be more of like, probably more like March, where we'll have more information on like how much Ben's check is gonna be, what it's gonna look like without any income, how we're cutting stuff out, things like that. So January is going to look fairly normal if you've watched my budgeting videos before. I will also say that I did purchase a very inexpensive, what I thought was a budgeting template, which is really pretty and like shows you graphs and all that kind of stuff. But I'm actually not going to show it to you today because I'm silly and realized that it is just a spending tracker, not a budget, and I'm a budgeter. So like a spending tracker is interesting, and I might continue to like fill it in to see like where our spending is going, but I can't use it as a budget, which is what I like to do. Let's jump into my Notion and we'll talk about some goals that I have. So here is my little brain dump in Notion. As far as goals go, let's talk about December and what happened and what didn't. So as far as health and healing, I do health and healing, work and money, and home and family. Those are my like 3 sections that I currently do. So health and moving, or health and healing, add movement into my schedule. I did not do that. I've really been struggling with movement in this 3rd trimester because I've been struggling with a lot of pain. Less coffees and food out, I will say yes. I don't know if I'm gonna do as well as I did last month, but I have done better. And start using red light, I have not. I will say it's December 19th as I do this. I still have a lot of time. I'm filming this very early because I don't want to have to film during Christmas week. Probably will start using it. I'm gonna leave that, but we'll hope that I actually got that done. Work and money, decide on maternity leave. I did, and then some things were decided for me based on the company's layoff. Look into social media management opportunity. We did do that, and we sent like a proposal. Now it's just, you know, me getting through having a baby and them starting their year off. I don't think they want to start anything until like Q2, so probably not until April. 2+ TikToks a day, I have done that. Do my own form of Vlogmas, I have done that. And grow my platforms, not really. There's been like a little bit of growth. There hasn't been anything crazy, but I guess it's still been some growth, so that's good. Moving on to home and family, Christmas lights. Yes, we didn't go to like a Christmas town. Maybe we'll go this weekend. I don't know. If we do, you'll see it in Vlogmas. If we don't, then we didn't. Make cookies and other fun Christmas stuff. I feel like we've done a little bit of that. Plan a birthday party for Ivy. I have planned it, now just have to execute it, but I will be having a vlog go up in early January showing like our Christmas and her birthday party and stuff like that. And then purchase baby 2 stuff. I have done that. For the most part, we've done pretty well. Let's go through what some of my January goals are. For health and healing, this one is still TBD, so I'm gonna put this 30-day self-kindness challenge. I saw it on somebody's channel, I don't even remember, and I think that's a good idea. However, a couple of these things include purchasing things for yourself. I think we might just be a little bit tighter with our budget next month. I'm just thinking about the fact that it's January, it's my last month of pregnancy, hopefully forever. It's also my birthday month. I still need to think through that one a little bit more. I put work through stress and anxiety that comes up, don't bottle it up, because as we get closer to the birth, I'm getting a lot more anxiety after the birth that I had last time. Prep food or recipes for postpartum. This is something that I just want to make sure that we have food here, whether it's pre-prep or just have recipes and like things that we can easily throw into the crock pot and eat. Since it's not just Ben and I, he'll be taking care of a toddler and himself, and he'll need to feed us, and I'll be recovering from major surgery, and we'll have a newborn. So that's a lot on Ben, and I just want to make sure that we're prepped for that a little bit. I put update medication to new pharmacy, set up help for C-sections. I kind of have started this already. I think my sister-in-law is gonna watch Ivy while we're in the hospital for the C-section. We'll just have to ask Ben's family for help afterwards. I'm a little apprehensive around letting people around either of my kids, all the like wintry germs, but also my mother-in-law and sister-in-law both work in they work like customer service in a very public place, like talking to people very closely, and I don't know. Plus, to be honest, I just don't know that I want a bunch of people in my space. However, I also know that like having help will be helpful. So figuring out, you know, somebody can take Ivy for a couple of hours or bring us food or something like that. I just want to think through that. I think another one too, Ben and I were just talking about this, set up and think through logistics of no nursery. So we're not gonna have a nursery because we don't have room for a nursery. We don't even have room to make a makeshift nursery like in my room or anything. I think we're actually gonna do a lot of it down here. I can't put a lot of it out right away because Ivy, everybody will be like in it all the time. We have to think through that stuff, and I think when Ben is off work for Christmas and New Year's, we're gonna try to think through some of that stuff, because basically everything that we have is like in Ivy's closet or in the garage. The bottles that we have are on the top shelf of our kitchen. Neither Ben nor I can reach those. You guys know, if you watch any of my vlogs, that our kitchen is just like intensely small as far as storage space for us. So we're gonna have to figure that out, whether it's like moving some stuff out, I don't know, pantry stuff out into the garage, but we need to like think through some of that. Work and money, I still have 2+ TikToks a day. I'm hoping to keep on that. There's also this talk about the TikTok ban, so there's a possibility there won't be TikTok, which I think is hilarious that our government can focus on getting rid of an app because they're not making money on it, but they can't do anything else ever. So whatever. But I would like to continue making short form content because I like doing it. Film for YouTube as much as I can, hopefully sticking to 2 videos a week. Obviously, I'm going into the end of my 3rd trimester. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. My pregnancy and stuff is going to take precedence, but I love doing YouTube stuff, so I would like to stay up to date with that so that I don't, you know, miss any videos. And then utilize help time for YouTube, social media, and baby prep. So I will hopefully still be getting the same amount of help that I was getting previously, even though I won't have my blogging client, and I would like to use that to like get ahead on YouTube videos, do baby prep stuff, whether that the recipe planning like I was talking about, or putting together the bassinet or things like that. Just got to think through that. As far as home and family goes, I have get ahead on videos. Oh, that actually should be, see, actually this should probably be down here too. So prep for what videos I want to do postpartum. This also, what was I doing when I was making these? Make postpartum cart and postpartum bathroom needs for down here. Set up the downstairs for baby. I guess that's kind of like, these are the 2 things. So I'll just write, think through logistics of no nursery and no kitchen space. Finish to list of baby things. So it's all pretty much focused on baby. So let's jump into the budget now. Okay, here is our budget. This is not finished, but I still wanted to show it to you guys for this month. So some up and coming things that I already told you about: Ben's new insurance prices, new doctor prices, my birthday, and our Costco membership comes out in February. So those are just things I want to remind myself of. My income is less this month. We are still getting, I believe we should be getting our last payment from Beacon this month. And then Ben's income is honestly the most confusing part. I don't know exactly how much it's going to be until we get his paycheck on the 31st of this month. For right now, I just have his current income in there, but it's going to change, which is why you'll see that I didn't fully zero out our budget this month, which I normally do. You'll see that I changed a couple of things. Our rent is here. We don't have to pay renter's insurance until February. We still have disability and life insurance. Multimedia, I kind of combined like TV, Ben's apps, and Google Drive into one payment. Car insurance is $151, $100.51 a month. Internet is about $75, and our phones currently are about $175 a month. And then I still have business expenses. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this. I think I'm gonna keep it separated right now in case I'm making money, but if I'm obviously not making money, I can't write this stuff off. In fact, I'm just gonna zero that out. So some of these things might end up just going into our normal budget. I use Canva for YouTube. My Notion, both Ben and I use that, but I use that for like all of my planning, which you guys have seen. YouTube Premium is something that I use that could probably be put into multimedia. So I might update that at some point. I feel like January is just gonna be like a we're not really sure month, and we're just gonna see what works. CapCut, I'm paying $10 a month for. I might cancel that. Apple Space, $10 a month. Spotify, $20 a month. Libsyn, I need to decide if I'm going to keep paying for my podcast to be out there. It's only $5 a month, which isn't a big deal, but is it necessary? I have no interest in going back to my podcast at any point. However, it will delete like everything that I've done. Our full fixed expenses for the month of January is $32.30.61, and obviously most of that is our rent. Moving on to debt, we're obviously not making any big payments on any of this stuff as much as we had wanted to. We have about $990 a month is our current debt payment. Moving on to variable, I didn't. This is our grocery budget. Oh, I did up it. So I combined groceries and Costco basically because we, for the most part from Costco, are only getting groceries, and obviously needing to be a little bit more cognizant with where we're spending. I can't be going and buying like Costco clothes and stuff like that anymore. Restaurants and takeout, I still have a little bit of money in there because it's my birthday. It's the last month before we have the baby, so I'm just trying to be realistic with the fact that we'll probably eat out or get some coffees out next month. I'll also want to have some money in the account for February because getting food at the hospital or once we're out of the hospital, things like that. We'll want to have some budget for that, but that'll definitely have to be an area that like goes significantly down moving forward. Medications and supplements I have at 100. I'm gonna up that a little bit. This is one of those things, like I hate how much we spend on supplements, but this is like Ben's area. I'm just gonna put it up because we have the income next month, but we're gonna have to figure something out with that. Household, I have at 800. That's what it's been at. Some months we use it all, some months we don't use any of it. That section will like continue to change. I will say, I've had people before say like, why don't you split out kids' needs and supplies? Like they're two different things. I agree, but at the same time, sometimes that's just too much. Like if I go to Target and I get a bunch of baby stuff, but I also get hand wash or something like that, like I just don't want to have to split out literally everything. I would rather just like keep some of those items together. That's just what works best for me. And I also keep notes of what I purchased, so I know where that's coming from. Personal spending, I have 100 because I would like to get my hair cut next month, and I'm guessing Ben will as well. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that at 150 for now, but that's another section that will be going down. Medical I have at 200. I don't even know that we'll use that, but I don't know what copays and stuff are gonna look like at the beginning of the year. Utilities I'm keeping at 200. Car I have at 70. I'll put it to 75 as far as like gas and stuff. So I don't really know. I don't think we're planning on really going anywhere in January. Core and Fin I have at $130. That's basically just their food. So I'm hoping that there's no like medical things that come up. And then I did lower our miscellaneous buffer to $50. I have $100 in birthdays, anniversaries, all that kind of stuff. I guess I can do, I'll put that like that for now in hopes that like that'll show how I'm equaling out my budget. Oh, I forgot to say, for variable expenses, that puts us at $3,455 next month. Yeah, moving forward from that, all of this stuff. Okay, so that's kind of what the plan is. I'm just putting this in savings, but you guys know, first of all, again, it's December 19th, so I don't know what's gonna change next month. I also don't know what Ben's income's gonna be. So if it's, you know, $400 less a month, let me put that in. That would put us there, which at least we still have a little bit of money left over. However, I just don't know if that's gonna happen. I was gonna show you guys what my budgeting plan is without my income and without Beacon's income for February, but honestly, I don't even know. Until we know what Ben's income looks like without, or with like the taxes removed, I just like, I can't plan ahead. So basically sometime in January, I should know that information, and then I will just have to budget. So I guess what I'm trying to say is our February budget with me, like my February reset, will show a lot more information if you guys are interested in all that fun stuff about my life. That is everything that I have to show you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for coming along with me. We'll see how 2025 goes. I'm just hoping some cool stuff's gonna pop up. It's been a little bit stressful just watching like the income diminish the last couple of months. We're just gonna have to figure it out, and hopefully Ben's health stuff is in a better place, so that he's not, you know, going to multiple doctors all the time, but also B, so that if we need to move, we can, because it's just, you know, paying almost $2,800 a month to live in this house, almost $3,000 between like utilities and rent. That's just like too much. That's almost 50% of our income when I don't have income and we're not getting it from another company. That's just too much to be paying for a rental for a home that we own, any of that kind of stuff, plus with $1,000 of debt, that, you know, and 2 kids, that's just too much. We have to figure something out here soon. I feel like I could just keep blabbing to you guys about what's going on, but that's where we're at, and I'll continue to update you as I know more. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to dive into more, and I will see you in the next one.